are you two doing today?
Okay.
Good.
Doing all right? Awesome. Just to make sure I got this right, you are Kaylee, correct? And you are Tiffany?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is nice to meet you both. Tiffany, can you start off by telling me just a little bit about what brought you in to see me today?
Well, I think we had to come here because Kaylee doesn't go to school a lot. She's missed a lot more than I thought. She oversleeps. I tell her to set an alarm. She doesn't set an alarm, so she oversleeps. Then she doesn't make it to school. Sometimes her car breaks down, so she doesn't make it to school. It's not really my fault. She just doesn't make it sometimes. And I guess she's missed more than she's supposed to.
All right. So you're missing a lot of school. How many days... Let me think how I want to ask this correctly. How many days a week are you going to school, do you think?
A couple of them. 2 or 3, I think.
Two or three?
It's good grades.
Yeah, I did really well in school.
Okay, so you're doing well in school. You like school, but you're missing more or less half of the days every week.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you agree with that, Mom? That number, about 2 or 3 days a
It's
week.
a little high, but if that's what they're saying, that's probably right.
Okay.
It's not every week. Some weeks I go the whole week. And
Okay.
Some days I just don't.
But you like school, and you like going to school. So can you tell me a little bit about what's keeping you from getting to school, say, 5 days a week, every week?
Yeah, sometimes I just don't get up in time. We don't always go to bed at a great time. We'll just watch TV on the couch, and then we fall asleep, and I don't have my alarm set because we fell asleep on the couch watching a movie. And sometimes we get in, we're ready, and we go, and the car breaks down, and I just oversleep sometimes, and then we just decide to spend the day at home, and it's nice to just spend the day with my mom.
So it becomes kind of this impromptu mother-daughter day.
Yeah, it's fun to spend the day with my mom.
Okay. What do those days look like for you, Tiffany? Are you enjoying those days, or are they a little bit difficult for you?
Some of them I enjoy. Some of them, I mean, obviously I'm asleep on the couch when she didn't make it to school, and that's why she's late. So she kind of wakes me up, and then she wants me to make her breakfast, and usually she eats lunch at school, but if she's home, she wants me to feed her lunch, and she likes to go places or do things, and so some of them are good, but some of them it's just a lot of work some days.
Just rather than being a fun day off when they're happening that frequently, it just becomes more of a issue with your schedule.
Yeah. I have friends that come over sometimes. It's a little harder when my daughter's there, so.
But it's fun to spend the day together sometimes.
Yeah, it is sometimes.
Yeah, so we're both liking this quality time together, but it's just easier when we've got Kaylee going to school on the regular basis.
Yeah. I like to go to school, but I also like days when it's just me and my mom. I like when it's just me and my mom.
So you like just you and your mom. I do see here that Dad is somewhat in the picture. Is that an appropriate way to describe that situation?
Yeah. He comes and goes.
Just, do you ever have any idea when Dad is coming, or is it just kind of Dad shows up at the front door?
No, I don't know if he calls you, but he normally just shows up for me.
Just shows up for you? Is it kind of the same for you, or does he usually
sometimes
give you
he calls, we get in a fight, and then he leaves, and, he goes out for a couple of days. Sometimes it's a couple of days, sometimes it's a week.
So a lot of inconsistency in that relationship.
Yes.
Okay. When Dad is at home, what does that look like for you, Kaylee?
I spend more time in my room. They don't talk really nicely to each other. They fight a lot. So it's easier to just kind of be in my room. And he's nice to me when I come out, but he and my mom argue a little bit. So I kind of stay away, and it makes me just feel a little bit stressed out when he's around. So I kind of just stay away, and then he leaves, and then it's just me and my mom again.
So it's just a stressful experience for you.
Yeah.
What would be a good word for me to describe? You said stressed, confused. Are those accurate? I just want to make sure I'm hearing your experience correctly.
Stressed, confused. It feels just a little chaotic with a lot of noise, and they're yelling at each other, and I'm trying to get out of the way, and it just feels a little. I just feel a little stressed out.
Okay. how long has this chaos, we're going to go ahead and treat chaos, we'll call it our fourth family member. It's living in our home right now. How long would you say chaos has been living in the house with you?
Really, I have some memories from when I was really little that are really happy with my mom and dad, but the more formed memories that I can remember, that's always kind of how it's been. It's gotten worse, I think. The fights are longer and a little louder, but it's always been kind of chaotic.
So that's been, as long as you're maintaining memories, it's been in the house with you guys. And it leaves with your father?
Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes my mom's a little more quiet after he leaves and doesn't want to hang out as much just the day after he leaves, but then it gets a lot better when it's just the two of us.
Okay. So when it's the two of you for a long stretch of time, mom kind of starts to step up and fill that role.
Yeah, I just like being around her more. It's nicer to be around her when it's just her. There's still some things like fall through the cracks. Sometimes we get McDonald's instead of making dinner. Sometimes I don't get up for school. So I think there's still maybe some things that aren't perfect when it's just us, but it feels a lot better when it's just us.
Okay. Tiffany, what is it like for you when I see you're still married, correct?
Yes.
So would separated be a good term, or are we still
No, we're not separated.
married? Okay. So when your husband comes home, what is that like for you? Is that a sense of relief? Is that a sense of stress? What is that like for you when you see, oh, David's coming home today?
Well, it depends on what's going on at home. But when he first comes home, it's much better. But then he starts to drink again, and he complains about different things, and so we fight. I didn't know we were that loud, but if Kaylee says we're that loud, I guess we are. And then he gets mad, and he slams the door, and he walks out again. So nothing ever really gets accomplished.
Okay. But this is still your marriage. Is there anything that the two of you are doing to work towards helping with these issues, or are we, is he open to working on sorry, I need to get my words together. Is he open to working on the relationship? Is that a question you have asked? Or is this kind of a schedule that we've seen and are willing to maintain?
It doesn't seem very open to it.
You're saying that you've not seen...
He doesn't do anything to help. He just yells when he comes home.
Okay.
I'm not a big believer in therapy, so I've never really asked him about it.
Okay. So is that something you believe wouldn't help?
I don't think it would, but I guess I could try it.
So that is something that we could maybe be open to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like to talk, if you're okay with it, a little bit about this down period that Kaylee was describing when your husband leaves. Is this just kind of, in your opinion, normal, tough patch sadness where you're just sad for a few days, or would you call this like depression?
I kind of fought depression for many years, so maybe just seems worse right after he leaves. But yeah, I've kind of fought depression for a while. I got pills for it, but I don't always take them like I should. I know I should, but I don't because I don't think they help.
Okay. So depression is a part of your life.
Yeah.
Has that been a part of your life for a long time? Is that a new guest in your life?
It's not new. It's been a long time. Maybe probably like my early adult years.
Okay. Can you think of any time that depression has been gone, where you would say you woke up maybe one day and you were like, wow, I haven't felt the weight of this in a long time? Have there been any times in your life like that?
Probably when Kaylee was born.
Right when Kaylee was born, you were excited to become a mother?
Yes, and my marriage was good. We had a good couple of years.
Good. And you said that lasted for a couple of years? All right. Do you remember, and it's okay if you don't, do you remember an age where that maybe started to change a little bit?
No, I don't think it was Kaylee's fault. I think, my husband started to drink a little bit more, and I don't remember exactly when it happened.
Okay, no problem. So just kind of a change in circumstance, and depression came back. Okay. Well, thank you for talking with me today. Thank you for both of you being so open. I appreciate it. I think we have a lot that we could work on here.